Go ahead.
Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I have come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual meaning.
So, William, what is the good thing that we learn about the 62 kind of wrong view? What does it help?
Well, it helps us to distinguish if we have any of those views, and to help us better establish the correct view. And I think it helps us also if someone else is recommending or encouraging us to take on a particular view. If we have a sense of the wrong views already, well, then it's easy to see if that's a wrong view that they're encouraging us to take on. So yeah, I think mostly it's like, okay, if we want to know what to do, it's also good to know what not to do.
Because nowadays a lot of people who do the meditation here and there, and they claim themselves to be one of the, well, they are the God, they are the enlightened one or whatever, right? No one whoever claim themselves like that, and we don't know about this thing, and we will trap into the wrong view. You understand? This happens a lot in this world right now. A lot of people walk on that path. And when they stuck into the path, they cannot be able to get out. Because when the person who have this kind of wrong view, and if they have the evil mind, you know what? They will use some kind of what you call some kind of the evil mantra. You understand? They control other people. Because for what? For the fame, for the worldly material desire. That's all. And this is terrible. A lot of family is broken due to this kind of wrong view. Because when let's say that either the husband or the wife, when they involve into this kind of trial route, right? And the family will break out easily. Because those people become the gold digger, right? You remember that, right?
Yeah, you said the gold digger?
Yeah, gold digger.
Yeah.
It's very dangerous. And that's why they harm a lot of families. And you know what? Because due to their ignorance, right? And we also ignorant, we follow them. And this is be very careful. So this is a good thing to learn, so we know, right? It doesn't mean that we say bad thing about other religion. No, we don't do this thing, because this is the Buddha speak the truth, and he didn't say anything about those religion is bad or good, but based on those people during the meditation, whatever they see. And the Buddha say that those things is not the right way. That's all. Right? More than that. So, okay. Here. So we learn about we are learning the 62 kind of wrong view attached to the self and the world. Usually the people want to know what happened after we dead, right? The self still exists, the world still exists, right? What is the origin of the world, right? And what is the ending of the world, and so, right? Those are the questions that all the religion want to find out. But the Buddha teaching is very straight, right? And due to because we learn about his teaching, we understand all these things. Right? So in the 62 kind of wrong view, it divides into the 18 kind of wrong view regarding in the past. and 44 kind of wrong view regarding to the future. Okay. So, and right here, I break down all these things for you so you remember, so easier for you to understand. Okay, the first four wrong view of the 18 is regarding to the eternalist. That means forever. That means the self and the world is forever after we pass away. Why was that? Because due to the people who do the meditation and they enter into the deep meditation, they can be able to see different lifetimes, right, in the past, and they remember about their life, one life, two life, 10 life, even 100 lifetime in the past, even thousand, even few thousand, or even 10,000. But each time when they see that, each time they reborn into the new life, right? They have the specific name and belong to the specific family, and they have the specific career, and they have the specific relatives, the family, so on, so on. And after they die, they keep re-evolve into the samsara. That means we call the death and rebirth cycle, and they keep repeat the same thing over and over again with different name, with different family, and so on and so on. So therefore, they claim that okay, the self is eternal, right? And also the world that they live in is also eternal. That means it's not it's not the end, right? That's what they believe. Due to the meditation, um, they practice. So what is the difference between so what is the difference between the Buddha teaching about the meditation and all the religion teaching about the meditation? William, what do you think?
So, I know in certain schools of Hinduism, there's an idea of the soul or the Atman being liberated and joining with Brahma, Brahma being the creator. So, or in Christianity with prayer, meditation, the idea is to draw closer to God through the example of Jesus. And in Buddhist meditation, granted there are different types, but if we look at, say, Zen meditation, we're looking to see the nature of what we are, to see our true nature. So to allow the turning of the mind to slow down and to still enough that we can see the essence behind the scenes, so to speak, and in seeing that, directly experiencing no self. So seeing through this notion, this illusory notion of a separate self, and then we're that experience, that realization frees us from suffering. So no other religious practice is seeking for people to directly experience the truth of no self through meditation. They're all generally, there's some other goal, whether it's to quiet the mind enough to engage in prayer, or it's to attain liberation, moksha, and then union with Brahma, but not achieving no self.
So basically, they are about the unity, right? They unite the small self. That means individual consider the small self united with the great self. That means the creator, right? Or the Brahman or whatever. So, and we also learn about that here in the eternal, right, and non-eternal. Remember, eternal. That means you remember when they can maybe born into the higher realm of the form heaven, right? But after they exhausted their blessing, and the first one fall into the Brahman world. Remember the Brahman world, and you know what? He stayed there for a long time, but no one there, right? He have a thought that, you know what? He get bored. So what happened is he said that if I'm here and no no one here, he want to have someone here with him. When he raised that thought, right? What happened is all the being, it's coincident. It's coincident that all the being also on the higher realm, after they exhausted their blessing, they also fall down into this realm, right? So, and therefore he said that due to my thought, this being is great. So I'm the father and they are my son, right? You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and that's what we call the great Brahman, right? Great Brahman. And he considered the creator, right? The creator who created everything. That's what he considered. And you know what? The one who come into this world and consider him the father, and they are the children. Therefore, the great Brahman is eternal, and themselves is non-eternal. Does it make sense so far?
Yes.
So, and when we come down to here, and we will learn more to it, and so you remember when we do the meditation, there are 4 mindfulness foundation, right? The foundation of 4 mindfulness. You know what are they?
The 4 foundations of mindfulness are mindfulness of the body.
Yeah.
And then mindfulness of feelings, mindfulness of thoughts, and of the 4th one, is it mental formations or is it consciousness?
No, Dharma.
Dharma. Okay. Mindfulness is the Dharma. Okay.
Okay. So what is the purpose of mindfulness of the body?
The purpose of mindfulness of the body is to prevent us from like reacting to something and then creating a lot of thinking over it, kind of mindfulness in general. Specifically with the body, one, it can be calming to the mind. It can be an anchor for the mind so that it can relax. But then also if there's something we need to respond to, it's good to be aware of. Like if there's a harmful pain in the body, well, then we may need to adjust our position a little bit. But in general, I think to kind of focus and calm the mind.
Okay. Basically, what is the meaning of mindfulness?
The meaning of mindfulness, it's frequently translated from the word smriti in Sanskrit, which means to remember or to recall. So sometimes when we're talking about mindfulness, we are like recalling something where we're bringing our attention back to something like our breathing or the physical sensation of the body. But generally when we use mindfulness here, we're also talking about like acceptance. So being aware without reaction, accepting, and like sitting with something, letting it be okay without trying to change it or react to it.
No, mindfulness is it means that we live at the current moment. That means we don't live on the past, we don't live on the future. We only live at the moment. That means that let's say that for the body, right? That means walk, stand, lie down, sit, right? Eat. Those activities, we have to be very mindful at every moment. At every activity, we bring that to the current moment. We know what we are doing. That is the mindfulness of the body. because that's how we don't be suffered by linked on the past, and we do not be suffered by linked on the future. And we live at the current moment, and that's how the wisdom is. When we do not attach to those things, then we are free from our attachment for the body. And the body itself also, Buddha talk about that is the external. What about the internal body? Right? The Buddha said that we need to contemplate on the internal body. We have all kind of the internal organ, blood and liquid and all those things. It's not clear, right? And so therefore we have to see it as the impurity. So the result of contemplate on the body, the ultimate result is to acknowledge its impurity. Does it make sense? The whole purpose of acknowledge the body as the impurity, therefore we are free from the desire. So that's important. So, but doesn't mean that we have to remember. We have this body, right? We look at the COVID-19 right now. How long the lifespan of a human live? What do you think?
Right now,
Yeah.
the average lifespan, it's somewhere around like 74 years, according to our measurements here.
Okay. That's what the Buddha appeared in the world when the human is a lifespan about 100, and almost 2600 years ago. That means every 100 the lifespan is we go down one, right? So, but this is not what the Buddha asked. So he asked his 3 disciples. Okay, how long the human lifespan is? And the first one said maybe a year. The second one, no. And the Buddha said that you have not seen the Dharma. You have not seen the truth. The second one said that maybe within a meal, right? That means within the meal, the either dinner or lunch, right? The Buddha said that you have not yet seen the truth. The third one said that within the breath, if we exhale and we don't inhale, what happens?
We gone.
Oh, we gone. That's right.
We bye. So I mean, according to the Buddha, that's just for the breathe. That's the lifespan.
Yeah, that is the lifespan of a human. It's within the breath.
Yes,
it's not within many years. You look at the COVID right now, right?
Yes.
When the COVID hit us, our life it depends on the breath. It not depend on the year, right? This is exactly what the Buddha said. But what is this when we see our lifespan like this? What does this help us? When I came to the California last 2 weeks ago, I had something important to go there. I talked to my student, the kid student online. I met them with the parents, and there were 3 kids about this family. They invite me to come to their house, and they want to talk more privately. So they want to ask me a lot of questions related to the Buddhism because they and relate to the current situation in the world. And the oldest one is 12 years old. Okay. No, I mean 12 senior year. That means the 12th grade. And he asked me that sometimes I don't have a motivation. I kind of lazy. So is there a way that how do I be able to motivate myself? Right. So I did what I replied to him. I say that you see this in our current society right now during the COVID, right? I asked the same question I just asked you: how long the human lifespan is? And the Buddha said, within the single breath. And I told him that, why do we need to know this? We need to value our body for the greater purpose, for the greater benefit of others. I give him an example that if you have a boat, right? Even you have a very small boat and very ugly, but you use that boat to carry the people from one shore to the other regularly, right? Compared to the millionaire people, they have the big ship, right? They only enjoy for their own pleasure. So that's kind of shift compared to the small boat of yours, which I want it benefits to others. It's a mind, of course, that's yours. Exactly. Our body is the same thing. Yet we have this body, right? Even though our body is not, we don't have a lot of blessing. We don't have a lot of blessing, but we don't have a lot of blessing. But if we know how to use this body to benefit others by help others, and you try your best to help them, but before you help them, you try your best to learn to do good in school, so you can get your talent, your skill. If you want to become a doctor, you want to become an engineer or whatever, those knowledge become the power. And later on become the skill set to help other people. And secondly, you need to learn the Buddhist teaching. That's how you'll be able to gain the wisdom. The people in the world, a lot of people in the world is very intelligent. The higher IQ, that means determine the higher intelligence. But there are the intelligent people wise? No. Why was that? You look at the world right now that we live in, everything is chaos. It's upside down. Just the COVID alone, right? It paralyzed the whole world economy. So where that come from, and also in many economy and collapse during 2008 or many years before that, who create that problem? The intelligent people. They are the one who create all the trouble for the world. Because why? Because of greedy. They only seek the benefit for themselves. They care less for us. So now you learn all the good things from school to gain your knowledge, to gain your skill set. And you also, at the same time, you spend some time to learn Buddhism. Those two paralyze, you'll be able to have the skill set as well as the wisdom, and you'll be able to to help other people in the future more efficiently. So just like your small boat, if you know how to use it wisely, and you bring another benefit to others, at the same time you bring your own benefit to yourself. When you say you help others, actually you help yourself. Because that's how we generate the blessing. So yes, instead of we waste our time and enjoy life in the worldly way, right? We don't do that. Then the time of Earth dues, right, to the world, we pass away. It's hardly for us to gain another human body. Very tough. Because I'm teaching the Bodhisattva way for the Vietnamese class for the adult, and in that there were that is the guy of the Bodhisattva path, And later on, I will bring that teaching to here. So you will learn. And in there, we talk about the bodhicitta a lot. Does it make sense to you, William?
Yes.
So therefore, yes, the Buddha teaches us about be mindful about the body. It doesn't mean that we get tired of this body. No, we know that this body is if we know how to use it in a meaningful way, we can enjoy. At the same time, we can generate a lot of blessings. This is important. Sarah, so far you understand, Sarah? Hello, Sarah, are you there? Okay. Anyway, so this is important, right? Therefore, okay, we can continue on this thing here. Okay. We learned about view number 7 already. Now we can go to view number 8. Okay, all right. And Jimmy, go ahead and read it one thing.
Yeah, mô Phật là thầy. And what is the fourth way? Here a certain ascetic or Brahmin is the logician, a reasoner, hammering it out by reason. Following his own line of thought, he argues. Whatever is called eye or ear or nose or tongue or body, that is impermanent, unstable, non-eternal, liable to change. But what is called thought or mind or consciousness, that is a self, that is permanent, stable, eternal, not subject to change, the same forever and ever. This is the 4 case. These are the four ways in which these ascetics and Brahmins are partly eternalist and partly non-eternalist. Whatever ascetics and Brahmins proclaim the partial eternity and the partial non-eternity of the self in the world, they do so on one or other of these 4 grounds. There is no other way. These monks, the Tathagata understands. These viewpoint that grasp and adhere to will lead to such and such destinations in another world. This the Tathagata knows, and more, but he's not attached to that knowledge. And being thus unattached, he had experienced for himself perfect peace and have truly understood the arising and passing away of feelings, their attractions and peril in the difference from them. The Tathagata is liberate without remainder. These monks and those other matters, profound, hard to see, hard to understand, peaceful, excellent, beyond mere thought, subtle, to be experienced by the wise, which the Tathagata, having realized them by his own super knowledge, proclaims, and about which those who would truthfully praise the Tathagata would rightly speak. There are monks and some ascetics and Brahmins who are finitists and infinitists and who proclaim the finitude and infinitude of the world on four grounds, what they are.
Okay, good. Stop right there. This is for the next one. This is for the next one. Okay. So do you understand what you just read?
Yes, but how I understood is these people, the Brahmin, and they just attach into the four-way, and they think that what they believe in, and that's what they think. And some of them that he say the other monks and Brahmins, are partly in eternalist. So that's how I understand.
Okay. What about William?
Mhm.
What do you think?
Yeah, so here, the Buddha is describing people who use their logic or reason, and they're reasoning that, well, the senses, the body will die, but that the mind, the thoughts are permanent and stable. Which I don't even think if we really use logic that we can come to that conclusion that thought and mind is permanent, because we can see people who have dementia and their thought is definitely changed from when they were younger, or just how people's thinking slows down, or there are, there's all sorts of examples of how it can change. So it doesn't seem to be it seems to be like reasonable, that not that someone could be completely convinced just by logic that that those are eternal.
Okay, that's good. Okay, let me explain to you this. All right. Before so basically they are the one who program themselves. So they said that the first 5 cents, right? It's look right here. They said that belong to the impermanent, right? And the consonant itself is permanent. And we know that the consonant is all 8 here also consider consonant. So which one is permanent? And it's constantly changed, right? I just talk about the foundation of 4 mindfulness. The first one is the body, considered to be impurity. The second one is the feeling, right? The mindfulness on the feeling is the feeling have 3 different types of feeling. The happiness feeling, the suffering feeling, and neither happiness or no suffering. These are 3 types of feeling. Because the feeling come and go, right? They come and go. If we attach to any kind of this feeling, what happened? What happened when we attach to them?
We will suffer.
That's correct. We will suffer. Doesn't matter we attach to the happy feeling. What happened to the happy feeling go? We suffer, right? So the contemplation on the mindfulness of the feeling is to understand that the end result of the attachment of the feeling will be suffer. So when we understand this, and we will free from attachment of feeling. That's important. And the third one is on the foundation, the 4th foundation of mindfulness. The third one is the mind. They call it mind, but in this word, the same thing with the consonant or the thought. Because the mind come and go, right? The thinking come and go. So it's impermanent. They are impermanent because the mind is impermanent. Nothing is permanent, right? But the one we just read about the number 8, right? It said that the mind or the consonant is permanent. That is the opposite of the Buddha teaching right there. Let's say that when we have a good thought, we holding on a good thought. What happened? The good thought go away. We suffer. Or the people who have let's say that they're right now, we have a lot of people, right? They They have not vaccinated yet, right? They have not vaccinated yet. I asked them why. One of them is Buddhism. I asked him why you have not vaccinated yet. He said, the COVID is not real. I said, what? What are you talking about? It's not real. A lot of people die. You say not real? No, the death number, the number of death, or the infected come from the media. They are the one who give us those number. It's not reliable. I said, what? What about the people die in Vietnam and India? You know what? One day holding on those views. The view here is the con. That means their God. But they holding on the wrong view. They will suffer, right? Because those things is impermanent. You see, it's important. And what about go ahead.
But they are a human nature. They're always holding on those wrong view and they are attached to it.
Well, that's why they suffer, right?
Right, but is there any kind of way we can help them or no?
No. Oh, especially who strongly holding their fixed view is very tough to convince. Don't you think, William?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, this is a really good example of it being difficult to. I don't even try to convince people. I'll share my perspective on it, but they're like, I don't know, the logic isn't integrated, so logic doesn't really
Because they use their own logic, right?
work.
Their own reasoning, and they attach to those kind of reasoning, and they just like the politician, right? They same thing, no different. That's why they make a lot of people suffer. Because when they hold on those views, but it's wrong, who will be suffer? If they're in the high rank of the government, the citizen, right? The people will be suffer. We will suffer, right? So this is important. So the mind is impermanent. It's not permanent. What about the 4-1 of the mindfulness? It's the Dharma. Remember the Dharma? What is the Dharma? What the Buddha tried to teach us here. The Dharma in here, it means phenomenon. It's a phenomenon. What the Buddha tried to help us to, when we contemplate for the mindfulness on the Dharma, what he wanted to realize. Mindfulness, that means you bring your mind to the current moment. Dhamma, that means our Dhamma, our selfless, our no self, right? Remember? That we learn from the consciousness only. This is the subject we learned at the beginning. Our Dhamma have no self. That is the core teaching of the Buddha. The core teaching of the Buddha is suffering, impermanent, no self, emptiness. That's the core teaching of the Buddha.
Yeah, but the thing right now, the situation is the human nature. They always attach to those, and they think it's all permanent. That caused a lot of issues right now in the world.
No, that's correct. That's correct.
So what I'm thinking is we might need to do a little bit more further investigation and research and spread the words to the world.
Oh no, we don't want to change them. No, the Buddha doesn't want to do that. No.
Correct. No, I'm just saying that they just need to change themselves, how they look at the things, and eventually we hope that they can change and view differently. not attached to those.
We change ourselves through our action. They will see it, and they can change according to what, whenever they be able to change, they can change. But we don't force them. We don't impose any law, any rule on them.
Agree. Yeah, một phần. Cảm ơn thầy.
So this is the true love and kindness and compassion. Sarah, are you there? Huh?
Yes, thầy.
So you follow our discussion so far?
Yes, thầy.
Okay, so you have any question or you understand?
So far, I've been following along. I can understand.
Okay, so basically, it's, so all the problem come from, that's why, let me show you here. This is here. This is very important model for the 8 consonants. Okay, look at this 8 consonants right here. All the world problem come from where? William, which consonant will be the root cause of all the problem?
The mana consciousness.
That's correct. Why the mana consonant, not the mind consonant?
Because the mana consciousness is where we find self-delusion, self-view, self-pride, self-love. So it attaches to the content of the 8th consciousness as a self. And so then clinging to that self, it seeks to protect it, to avoid things that threaten that self, and to seek out things that help support it.
Remember, all these 8 consonants here, which one is the fundamental consonant of all?
The 8th.
The number 8, that means the alaya consonant is the storehouse, that is store everything. This is the fundamental consonant of all 8 consonants. All these 7 consonants rely on the number 8 consonant. For example, the mana consonant, that means the one who have 4 layers of the cell, right? The cell delusion, that means we attach to our body and mind at the permanent, right? That is the wrong view. That's what we call delusion. And the self view, that means we attach to our own view, right? If someone have a different view, we against them. That's where that cause a lot of problem to themselves, to others, right? And self-pride, that means they are number 2, but no one can be number 1. That's what the self-pride. That means they always think they're the best. So when let's say that if the 2 person, each one of them plan themselves the best, you know what happened?
What happens?
What happened? When let's say the 2 people, right? Each one of them plan themselves the best. So what happened?
They might fight.
Oh,
They're going to call the confliction.
They fight, right? What about if these 2 people, they are the king of each country? What happened?
People probably will die over them.
They go to war, right? They go to war. You see, due to the pride they have, therefore, that is the crazy thing. And self-love, that means everything we possess, right? How family, whatever, right, relate to us. And also there were, I always use this example. There was a queen, right, at the king one day. Majesty, do you love me? And the king said, yes, I love you as just my own, right? My own body. Oh, the queen said, really? What happened if one day I have an affair with other men? And what you do? I will kill you. The king said that. And you know what the queen said? Oh, Majesty, you love yourself. Not you don't love me, but you love yourself. Because when we say love, we love with the condition, right? So that's what the self-love also means like that too. So anyway, that is just analogy for us to understand. So in here, when we're talking about the 4 layers of the self, we attach to the knowledge, to the data, whatever we put in here from the outside world, we bring in from the outside world, and we deliver to the mind consciousness. Oh, today I just teach the kid, the new kid, about this one. So when the eye sees something, the eye could not be able to distinguish, right? But the eye consciousness, just like a camera, it will take a picture of those things and will send those things to the mind consciousness, that means the brain, where to the nerve, right, to the brain. And once it look into the memory and the data become available for the mind to think, to visualize, to whatever the function of the mind can do, right? Visualize, planning, contemplation, ambition, or whatever, right? And that means at the same time, the mind will inform the eye be able to distinguish about the object they see. The same thing with the ear. When the ear hears something, the ear cannot distinguish about the sound until the mind process inside the memory. The ear can be able to distinguish the sound. The same thing with the nose and tongue and body. So the mind consciousness is also important, right? So right here, this one right here, they wrap the data from the outside, right? They put in here, and the mana consciousness will wrap the data from the mind consciousness memory. And if the mind have any kind of thought that they want to inquiry, therefore those kind of inquiry, they will put into the Araya consciousness, become the knowledge, become the experience, become the karma sheet. That means the good karma and the bad karma right here. It becomes the power of the karma at the end of the day. So the mana consciousness attached to whatever the knowledge, the information inside the Alaya consciousness at the self. So if anyone says something that hurt the feeling of us, right? Then the data in here, it will be, that means the result. Let's say that when we do inquiry, we want to know about the flower or whatever that we take it in, and it will trigger the Araya consciousness to bring the result back to the mind consciousness. But before, so when the result give back to the mana consciousness, this is the emotion arise. Emotion arise. So in our brain, we have 2 parts. One is called the emotional part. The other one is called the rational part. Is that true, William?
Yeah.
So which one go first? The emotional or the rational?
Emotional.
That's correct. Emotional go first. So when the data come back right here, if they carry any kind of emotion here, the emotion will arise. That's what we call, this one also have another name called emotional affliction. Okay? So emotional affliction right here, that's where sometimes the emotion becomes so strong, it will control the rational part, that means the mind consciousness. And you know what? They wrap all the data from here, right? They put into the mind concept memory and become the detailed data here. The mind be able to think, will be able to distinguish, and and the mind consciousness is what we call the decision maker right here. But the decision maker, either good decision or bad decision, create a good karma or bad karma. The content come from the Araya consciousness, not from the mind consciousness. The mind is just the content to holding the data, but it's not the storage. So the data come from here, and the emotion come from here, not the mana can. The mana itself does not have any emotion, but the data that contain the emotion from the Alaya consciousness will trigger the emotion in the mana consciousness. This is important, right? So through this learning, we saw that the consonant is constantly changed. They constantly change. So what we learn from that's view number 8, it is said that the consonant is permanent. That is the wrong view, right? That right there is the wrong view. Well, if we don't learn this thing, and we will not be able to distinguish the thing we read, right? So this is important. Okay. All right, that's good. Let me hold on. Oh, we are more. Okay. We are more time up. Okay, we stop right here. We are. Wow, time up very quickly.
Very interesting subject. So time fly, Thầy.
Okay, thank you. Sarah, you have any question you want to ask?
I don't have any questions today, Thai.
But so far you follow along, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to follow along. I think I understand most of it, though.
Oh, that's good. That's good. All right. Okay. Thang Thiền, go ahead and read this one. Thang Thiền.
Yeah. May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with heart of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts combine in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who so lead grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of the endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Let's do the mantra. We also do the mantra. If yeah. So the class is done for today.